I've long wanted to fly myself to Europe's biggest general aviation air show, and today I'm finally going to do it. The weather is perfect. The winds are a bit strong, there's going to be a headwind. We're heading off to Aero Friedricshafen, which is quite a long way east actually. It's about 3.5 hours, 4 hours in today's wind. We have a passenger today, it's Ian. Ian works for a aerial photography company. He's going over to go to the show. I've got a spare room at the apartment I'm staying, so I said he could ride along with me. So, it's always very busy this first bit, Ian, so I'm going to be fairly quiet with you.
No, that's fine, that's not a problem.
This video is sponsored by Foreflight, an app I'm using a lot more these days. It's great for both IFR and VFR flying and is packed with some very powerful features and tools. Unfortunately though, Ian didn't get the memo.
You alright there?
Yeah, just putting it in.
Or is that?
This is pilot, so I won't be winking you.
Right, out!
There you go, bail out. Over the English Channel.
Golf India Victor, runway 07 left, Delta 0901 knots, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 07 left, Golf India Victor. Try and get the wheel up. Oh, bit of a bounce there. We're quite heavy.
Golf Bravo Mike India Victor, clear to enter controlled airspace now. On track Detling and the climb altitude 3,000 feet, IFR.
Cleared to join controlled airspace, on track Detling, climb to altitude 3,000 feet, IFR, Golf Bravo Mike India Victor. So we've got GPS, indicated airspeed, and we're on track Detling.
Yep.
Alliance Malta 67, turn left heading 325.
325, Alliance Malta.
You cold?
I'm alright, my feet are cold, but...
We'll put the heater on. I'm going to get you the blanket out.
805.
It does get cold up here.
Golf India Victor, turn right heading 100 degrees and climb to altitude 5,000 feet.
Turn right, 100 degrees, climb to altitude 5,000 feet, Golf India Victor.
Golf India Victor, report the heading to London 120.530.
120.530, Golf India Victor. Line control, Golf Bravo Mike India Victor, heading 100 degrees, altitude 5,000 feet.
Golf India Victor, thanks. Climb now, flight level 90.
Climb flight level 90, Golf India Victor. Passing 6,000, so we'll go to
under 5
standard
minutes.
pressure.
Resume navigation, begin and descend flight level 130.
Level 130, rebeacon, speed with 71.
So you've not been to Aero Friedrichshafen before?
Never. No, I wanted to go several times.
Singapore 305, contact
It's a good show.
134.
It's probably Europe's best show.
Golf India Victor, resume navigation, Conan.
Resume navigation, Conan, Golf India Victor. So you've not been to Friedrichshafen before? Yeah, you're in for us.
No, it's going to be interesting.
Nice surprise, it's a busy show.
Oh, it's 937 exhibitors, apparently.
You've done your research.
With 3588.
So I planned this entire flight using Foreflight, and it really does make it very easy. You put in where you want to go to, you set what altitude you want to fly at, or flight level, and you can put in whatever waypoints you want along the way, and then ask it to route that route, and it will give you several options at different levels. Usually I will find 1 or 2 or 3 that will work, that, you know, some variation in the routings, sometimes take you a bit further. So really quick, you just let the computer do the work for you. But I'm relatively new to Foreflight, and I have to say I'm still a little bit hesitant with it. You know, I've spent quite a bit of time with it now, but there's a few times it gets me caught in a little tangle. So I'm going to Aero Friedrichshafen. I have set an appointment to go and see the people at Foreflight, and I'm hoping that they will be able to give me some really good tips and tricks that will make this really super usable for me, because obviously I'm going to be heading across the Atlantic in May. It will be my flight planning, EFB of choice, and could do with a little bit of extra help just to get me fully up to speed with it, so I know exactly where everything is.
Golf India Victor, contact Brussels 131.1, goodbye.
Brussels 131.1, Golf India Victor.
131.1, change frequency for you.
Brussels Control, Golf Bravo, Mike India Victor, flight level 90, direct Conan.
Golf Bravo, Mike India Victor, hello, identified.
I rarely usually fly at 75% power, but We're a bit tight on time today, and also I'm tight on hours, so I had to get an extension on the hours.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, so...
And I've only got enough hours to get here and back and then to maintenance, so can't afford any delays today.
500.
We're making a short fuel, customs and comfort stop in Belgium.
Golf India Victor, final position.
India Victor, latest wind 07014.
So Kortrijk is quite a quick stop for customs, self-service fuel, and they're always very, very nice here. Customs here, I don't know if you found that, Ian. Yeah, they're always really nice and friendly. In fact, to be honest, most GA airfields, customs are all right, I think, but especially so here. Topping off with fuel, we're a little bit behind time, but I think we will get off just about right.
Speed's increasing at 75.
5-8 departure.
Brussels departure, Golf Bravo, Mike, India, Victor, passing altitude 1,300 feet, climbing to altitude 3,000 feet, RWF 2 Charlie departure.
Golf Bravo, Mike, India, Victor, Brussels, good afternoon, enter the Brussels TMA, climbing to flight level 70.
Enter the TMA, climb flight level 70, Golf India Victor. And relax.
There we go. We're on the cruise leg now,
Yeah.
climbing cruise leg. You been busy filming or editing or
Yeah,
both?
filming. I mean, I've been trying to get everything done before the plane goes in for maintenance.
Right.
Get its content filmed. And then I've got, this goes in for maintenance at the end of April.
A biggie or a littlie?
Well, it's going to have a big 100 hour,
Okay.
and there's quite a few niggles that need to be ironed out.
I'm sure most of you know that in less than 2 weeks' time, I'm setting off across the North Atlantic Ocean in Golf India Victor. It's going to be a massive adventure. I'll end up at Oshkosh in mid-July. Of course, I'll be filming the whole thing.
When's your departure date? When's
23rd of May,
right?
so coming up fast.
Yeah.
I'm using this special trip to raise £50,000 for the Aerobility charity. They help disabled people experience the magic of flight, and I'd love it if you could help me with the fundraiser. I'm running a charity raffle. You can win a new Lightspeed Zulu 4 headset, a flight in a Harvard or a Tiger Moth, a private tour of Stansted Air Traffic Control Tower, a flight with me, and a hot air balloon ride. Tickets are just £10. Get them on my website. The draw is on the 1st of July. So dig deep, bag a ticket or two, and help out Aerobility.
Golf Bravo, Mike India Victor, there's military airspace ahead, descent flight level 90.
Descent flight level 90, Golf India Victor. Could do with a nap now. I'm really very tired. I wonder if I put my seat back. Just have a little...
If you fall asleep, I'll let you know.
Good afternoon,
You can be pilot monitoring. Seat back it's quite good, this.
Yeah, it does.
That's quite good. It's a lie flat bed.
Golf Bravo Mike India Victor, contact Alps radar 119.925, tschüss.
119.925, Golf India Victor. Okay.
November 5232.
Let's get lively again.
Yeah.
133.550, ahoy.
133.550, ahoy, November Tango Victor.
Golf India Victor, descend altitude 6,000 feet, QNH 1021, and at RFAS cleared for standard ILS approach, runway 06, report established.
Descend to altitude 6,000 feet, QNH 1021 at RFAS, ILS standard approach, runway 06, Golf Bravo Mike India Victor.
Thank you.
So we want to fly the profile then.
6,000 1021.
Vertical speed down. And the transition level 70. Pre-landing checks. Brakes pressurised, undercarriage not yet down, mixture fully rich. Radios tuned, engine temperatures and pressures in the green. Altimeter 1021. And we're strapped in, landing lights on. So we're now on that. We've got course of 057. Golf India Victor, final approach track established, ILS, runway 06.
Golf India Victor, thank you. Radar service terminated. Contact tower 120.080. Bye-bye.
Tower 120.080. Goodbye, Golf India Victor. Friedrichshafen Tower, Golf Bravo Mike India Victor, established final approach track ILS, runway 06.
Hello, Golf Bravo Mike India Victor, continue approach.
Continue approach, Golf India Victor. I thought it said contact.
That's what I thought.
Brakes and gear, 3 greens, red, blue, 3 greens. It's great weather. I'm going to take the opportunity to... Can you keep a lookout for me?
Yeah, I can.
I'm going to continue... that was working out, wasn't it?
Yep.
So I'm going to be flying this manually.
Yeah, no problem.
Of course, I've got flight director now, which makes it easy.
Turn it off if you want.
So, yeah, if you can keep a lookout, I'm on instruments.
Well
Oh, flight director makes it so easy. Watch this back, it'll be spot on.
Yeah.
Golf Bravo Mike India Victor, wind 060 degrees, 17 knots, runway 06, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 06, Golf India Victor.
Golf Bravo Mike India Victor, take next intersection to the left via Mike and see the marshaller.
Next left on Mike and with the marshaller, Golf India Victor.
That's probably the guy there. Oh, look, there he is.
That was great to fly into Aero Friedrichshafen, and so easy too. A well organised system that they have here. We shut down, filled up with fuel, and then headed into the exhibition halls. So Ian and I are now inside the halls here at Aero Friedrichshafen, and if you haven't been before, the first time you come here it can be quite overwhelming. I don't know if you can get a sense of how busy, how noisy it is. Every time I try and take a picture or a photo or a video of an aircraft stand, there's somebody in the way. You know, so many people here. So unlike anything we sort of have in the UK. It really is Europe's biggest show. But yeah, it's nice to be here, to be experiencing the buzz, to see some of the new tech, and to meet some lovely flying reporter followers as well. What's your name?
I'm Lars.
Lars, and where are you from, Lars?
I'm from Bielefeld, Germany.
Oh, Bielefeld, yeah, I've heard of Bielefeld. Yeah. Is the flying reporter big in Germany?
I watch your videos, obviously. Otherwise, I would have
I think he's saying I'm not big in Germany. That's what that was. Hi, what's your name?
Yassi.
Yassi, and where are you from?
I'm based here in Friedrichshafen.
Oh, are you?
I fly from Friedrichshafen.
Oh, you've come a long way then. What's your name?
Johan from Sweden.
Oh, well, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
You fly Piper too?
Yeah.
Brilliant. How is your aero?
It's fantastic.
Now I said, didn't I, that one of the reasons for coming to Aero Friedrichshafen was to go to the Foreflight stand. I've been using Foreflight for some months now. I've sort of learnt myself, as you do as a pilot. But Foreflight especially is a very, very feature-rich app with lots and lots of features, and I can't possibly learn all of the tips and tricks. So the Foreflight stand's just up here, so I'm going to go and see if I can find an expert. So I'm with a man who was born for aviation. Tell my viewers your name.
My name is Archer, and I work with Foreflight.
After the Piper Archer?
After the Piper Archer, maybe it was after me. We're not so sure. Yeah.
I've been flying with Foreflight for about a year, and wow, there's quite a lot to learn, isn't there?
Yeah, just a little bit.
To most people, I'm not. It's not just because I'm old. Most people sort of take a little while to understand.
It's a learning process.
So I think I'm almost there with it. It's just there's a few things I could do with a bit of help with.
Sure.
This was my route down, as you can see, from Kortrijk in Belgium, sort of almost direct down to Friedrichshafen. It all went brilliantly. It was a great flight. I'm hoping you'll agree. I planned it there. I did the route thing. It gave me a route that validated. I filed it. It was all just quick and simple, which I absolutely love. I put in the procedure, for example, when we arrived here. So there was no arrival procedure. Actually, it was just an approach. So I did approach. It was the ILS 06. It was from RFAS, and I added it to route. And I love that, how it now
has the route already there for me, and it's showing me all the different levels annotated there. I suppose the one thing that I am thinking about, I'm going across the Atlantic next month, and if I just show you maybe one of my routes there and my concerns, and maybe you can help me with that. So if I find, here's one from Iceland to Kulisuk in Greenland. The key critical issue here, the two critical issues, one will be icing.
Sure.
One will be winds aloft. Is there a level that I can fly at that's going to have better winds?
Great.
And at the moment, I don't know how to get that up on the screen so I can sort of see what's doing. Can you show me what I need to do to get that up?
We have a ton of weather layers, as many people are familiar, on the maps. And this is a good way to kind of get a broad overview of whether it's winds or icing. But something we have in Foreflight that is just absolutely amazing is the profile view. And this gives kind of a horizontal slice of whatever route you're flying. And this takes into account winds aloft information, icing, airspace, and in this flight, the terrain's not super relevant, but in this part of the world, there's a lot of terrain. So what I like to do is, especially for these flights where I would be at altitudes where icing or clouds are a factor, we can turn these layers on here that specified on the actual estimated time of departure up to, I believe, about 2 days in the future. We can download the wind and cloud information as well as icing and show that right here. We'll see the icing depicted at each altitude with a bit of a severity, from light icing to heavy icing.
So winds are going to be really important because I've got such limited range.
Sure.
It's a long leg. I need to be flying the most optimal altitude for winds. Is there a way of seeing, which is going to be, where the winds are at?
Absolutely. Everything? Yeah, we have a couple, again, in this profile view, a couple really nice ways to view how the winds will affect your flight. So in this same layer selector on the top right, we have both a headwind and tailwind component layer, as well as an estimated ground speed. So if we turn that on, this will show the winds aloft factored into how it'll affect at each altitude. So as you can see, kind of the higher we go,
got higher tailwinds, is that?
Yeah, so the more bright, kind of neon green it will show you the ideal wind component at each altitude.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, and another easier way to visualize this as well is using the estimated ground speed. And so this will actually factor in your aircraft performance, as well as, the density altitude as you go higher in altitude, combined with that winds aloft I showed to kind of factor in what your actual estimated ground speed will be. So that gives you kind of a total sum view as opposed to, just the winds.
Got it. So there's a feature you've had in the States for a little while.
Sure.
Which I'm looking forward to playing with, but it is coming to Europe, I think.
That's right,
so
yeah. Middle of this year, we plan to bring it to Europe.
What's it called? It's like dynamic
procedures.
Yeah, dynamic procedures. Can you show me that?
Absolutely. So you told me you're flying into Osh later this year, which you probably won't be flying an instrument approach, but I will show you what it looks like nonetheless. So if we click into procedure up in the top right here, we click approach, and then we choose whichever approach. So it looks like today, runway 18 is probably the best one based on winds. We'll pick our transition, and then we'll go ahead and add this to our route. So many people are probably familiar with how we geo-reference the plates on the map and draw the procedure, through the route. What is new and what is coming to Europe this year is what is called dynamic procedures. So this is Foreflight's take on pulling the most essential and critical information out of the instrument approach and giving it to you in a way that is modern and kind of makes sense as you go from top to bottom. You see we have the MSA ring drawn right on the map for you.
That's great.
And this would actually have the different quadrants if there was individual sections.
That's so helpful because you're trying to guess otherwise where everything is,
Yeah, and then just like you'd brief a regular chart, we can kind of go from top to bottom. We can see that we have the frequencies, the touchdown zone elevation. In the case of Osh, there's quite a few COM frequencies, so this is something we could swipe through. If there are any NOTAMs that apply, those would show here as well. The notes are in this nice bullet list format, so something you can kind of brief before you get into the actual route. And then here, this route will actually update in real time with your track as you progress through each leg. So we'll see, once we get towards this end of the approach, this would actually update along with your route in magenta as you progress through it. Now, a really nice additional layer is on this profile view. So we've added a new mode in the top left called approach. And this zooms in on just the final approach portion of your flight, and your own ship will show on this as you're flying. So it gives you kind of the top down, all the information needed on the right side, and then this horizontal slice. And then a really great situational awareness tool we have in here is the approach 3D preview. And this is actually referenced onto the glide slope of this approach with the landing light indicators, in the appropriate, configuration. So you can expect to kind of brief what the lights will look like if it's, not lined up with their glide slope. So all of this kind of gives you the full picture of your approach before you even, into the airspace.
Well, that's amazing. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
You've reassured me that I'm not missing some silly thing. I'm not doing something wrong here. It looks like I'm using it.
That's right.
Sort of right. And some great shortcuts for me there as well. So thank you so much.
Yeah, John, thank you for
nice
stopping by.
You.
Yeah. I look forward to seeing you at Osh this year.
I was going to say, you're going to be there?
I hope so, yeah.
I shall find you out. And
okay.
I'll let you know how I get on.
Yeah, if you have any trouble, tell them to ask for somebody else. Yeah.
So that wraps up a successful Aero, and wow, what weather have we had. It's been amazing, and that's reflected in the visitor numbers. Really, really busy today, and fantastic to see so many followers and friends. We've had lots of interesting business meetings as well, and of course I've learnt some really good tips and tricks from Foreflight. We're heading off now to another airfield in Germany, about an hour away from here. So join me on my next video when we land there, because we're going to meet a couple who flew around the world in their Mooney. So I'll wrap up there. Until next time, fly safely, my friends. Bye for now.